I'm Annie Mable McDaniel Abrams, and I'm a retired educator, and my profession is being a humanitarian for the rest of my life. Well, I was born in Clark County in Arkadelphia, which is an old historic town as it relates to education for African Americans. It had private schools just before I was born. I was born in 1931, September the 25th, and that was the beginning of the Depression. I came from a town where private and public education was very important. But my family heritage was that we always believed in public education. My mother recognized that quality education for African Americans, Negro, colored people, which I was called at that time, was not the best. So I was able to come to Little Rock, Arkansas, and live with my cousin and her husband, who was an educator here in Little Rock. So I'm a product of the Little Rock Public Schools. In the Annals of History in Arkadelphia, I'm proud that my mom's name is on the sidewalk there of a class of 5, the highest that you could go at 8th grade. I've always wanted to be a teacher because that's all I ever heard about. Teaching, whether it was Sunday school, whether it was BTU, whether it was Vacation Bible School, or whether it was in public school. I always heard about and admired people who believed that education was a passport to freedom. Well, I think there's a built-in hunger for knowledge. Little children come into the world, and I teach all the time that the brain is the first computer. And when a baby is born, we now know that they were listening before they were actually birthed into the world. We can condition their appetite for knowledge before they're born. So as a result of always seeing and hearing and knowing so much from that thirst for knowledge, people began to seek me out. I remember when I was a little girl, and they used to say, "If you want to know, ask Annie Mable." And as a result of that, the more they asked, the more I felt I wanted to be, so I could always share new information to people. If you want to be powerful, gain as much information as you can. If there is anything about me that people respect or even fear, it's my knowledge. Because I never open my mouth about anything that I haven't researched it or experienced it. And that's what you have to do. You have to continue to grow. And the one thing that I have found in my 81 years is this that they call the brain is just like a computer. It hasn't been measured in megabytes. There is nobody who's used all of your brain cells. Most research says that most of us, even the geniuses, have only used 10% of the capacity of their brain. So I say, use your capacity as much of it as you can. This is Annie Mable McDaniel Abrams, and I'm glad to be on Keeping Art Alive.